benefited from them coming in a few weeks ago and doing a virtual tour with the Matterport camera here, which I think they'll probably demonstrate or show you other examples of, and all the other cool features and tech that now is in the virtual space and the use of drones and kind of where it's gone and how it helps you gain listings and impress your clients. So without further ado,
cool.
Eddie.
Right on, right on. Well, appreciate Jeremy and John that let me come in. My name's Eddie. I'm the owner of AccuTour. We're a digital media company in South Florida. We service from Orlando all the way down to the Keys and the other coast as well. So all my information's there. And also I have our little brochure and our business cards there as well. So my cell phone number on it is there. Karen and Sharon can testify. We'll pick the phone up and I'll talk to you for as long as you want to talk. So, and I'll help you as much as possible. To save you a little bit of grief, what I've done is, there you go. What I've done actually is I've actually transposed this entire presentation into a slideshow that you don't even need to write anything down unless you want to. Everything can be found here. This entire slideshow can be found at the K Company FL or AccuTour.com/the K Company FL. So you don't have to write anything down unless you absolutely want to. And I encourage questions. I was a teacher for like 10 years or 6 years, something like that. So if you have questions, there's no stupid question. Feel free to ask as many as you want. And I'll spend as much time as necessary to answer it. So definitely check it out if you want access to the slides. Also, as a thank you, what I've done is if you want to give me your business card or your email address, what AccuTour has begun to do, because we have hundreds of thousands of photographs, we've actually began to create a stock photography batch of photos of South Florida so that you can use them for whatever you want because we own them. So if you want to, give me your business card or your email address at the end, and I'd be more than happy to email you access to all the stock photography so you can use it without having to scour through Google and be concerned about the licensing issues that you could have. So definitely I encourage you with that because they are catered to South Florida. First off, what we do is digital media, everything from drone to photography to videography to everything, but that's not the main focus of today. Today's main focus is to help you understand and go through the entire array of thoughts that you could have about 3D, virtual reality, drone, all these complicated aspects that are now introduced into this world, right? Can be a little bit overwhelming from time to time. Wouldn't you agree? You don't know which way to go or what to use or how to do it. At the end of this, my goal is to make it less complicated for you and give you a clear path of direction and a plan of execution. And also now you have access to us. You can ask us any question you want, and I'm more than happy to answer anything that you'd like answered so that you're able to understand things more. Also, throughout the presentation, I want you to start thinking about what is your goal? With all this technology, what is the end result? What are you trying to achieve? Is it to get more listings so you can make more money, to give you more freedom? Is it to get time back? Because remember, time is that one asset that keeps moving forward, right? You only have 24 hours in a day. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So if you utilize this technology, it could save you a lot of time. And you can do whatever you want, whatever you like. I always think with goals, a lot of times people can get convoluted in this idea of a goal. I always think of SMART goals. You have to make sure that it's specific, that it's measurable, that it's achievable, that it's relevant, that it's time-bound, meaning that you're able to get this done within a reasonable amount of time if you're trying to understand something. So I would say, make sure that your goals are SMART. I also started thinking about risk. We all know Mark Zuckerberg, and we know he started Facebook. People thought he was probably nuts. But like he said here, the biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that's changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. So a lot of this technology, drones and 3D and virtual reality and 360 and live streaming, it's kind of risky, right? You're putting money down on the table, or you're putting your time down on the table, to me, which is more valuable, and you're just kind of hoping and praying to God that it actually works. But you have to obviously manage that risk. So hopefully today at the end, you'll have a better idea of okay, I can do this, I can understand this. This is not totally outside of my scope. What I did was I always like to review the NAR 2016. You guys are probably familiar with the NAR report that they put out every single year, National Association of Realtors. And I started thinking about what these home buyers are looking at when they're going online or when they're starting to look for a house. And I thought this was pretty interesting. It's from the 2016 report. Online websites were seen as the most useful as 86% among buyers who use the internet during their home search. 89% of buyers found photos, and 85% found detailed information about the properties for sale very useful. So we've all been on the MLS. We've seen that photos can be really not so good, right? Sideways, crooked, blurry, there isn't any photos, or that the information is not super detailed. So as we go through all what 3D and virtual reality and the goggles can do for you, you're going to realize that the amount of information that your potential client is going to have access to is amazing. It's going to blow your mind. So 3D. 3D technology is a growing industry. We can see the upswing, and we can see the amount of growth of the 3D imaging market. A lot of people think, well, 3D is never going to catch on, or virtual reality is never going to catch on. Well, this graph and this data begs to differ. We know that's where the future is moving. 2013, we start to see the upward motion, and then 2018 projected at 28.6% growth. So if you aren't keeping up with the times, do you think you could be left behind?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think somebody else could come to a listing presentation and show them this technology, and you may not get that listing because of that technology, because they want it? I think it's possible, So I say I want to equip you to make you the most awesome, well-equipped agents. I mean, I researched the K company like crazy over the last week. I mean, you already have great resources with the company as a whole. So why not just embrace this additional technology and make it even stronger? So when people say 3D is not going to catch on, well, I wish I could invest in it, but there's not a lot of companies that are publicly trading in it. Facebook actually is. So he owns Oculus Rift. So how can real estate professionals use the power of 3D? The first thing that 3D can do, 3D is not only dealing with virtual reality or 3D goggles, it has a lot to do with 3D renderings and virtual staging. All this furniture in this second image doesn't exist in real life. The shadows are perfect. The contours are perfect. The reflections, if you could actually zoom in, you'll actually see in this image right here, you should see the reflections of these or the window on the other side. The lighting's perfect. Also, you notice that it can remove clutter. The Cape Cod is no longer there. So 3D staging or virtual staging is taking a 3D object and placing it into your desired space. It's amazing what it's capable of doing. How much does real staging cost? Thousands of dollars, right? It takes thousands. It could take forever to do, right? This is so easy, not so easy, but this is comparable easy for us to do to allow you to virtually stage properties. Now, the other thing that you're able to do is you're able to take it to another, let's see if this is, there we go. You're able to begin to stage multiple rooms like the last one. This one also, the furniture doesn't exist in real life. So why not use the power of 3D to give your property or your clients the ability to stage a home any way they desire? You no longer are limited by their furniture that's in the home. Yes, ma'am?
Do we have to disclose that it's virtually?
I always encourage it. I always encourage, like in the description, especially, not necessarily virtual staging, but virtual modifications. Like, that's a great question, Gary, because we've actually modified an entire home where we changed the paint, the carpet color, the roofs, everything. Added a pool.
Cool.
And there is a certain time that I'll be like, wait a second, this could be misleading to the public, like you need to make sure that this is protected. So yeah, I would encourage, even like adding it on the bottom of the image if the MLS will allow you, or doesn't the MLS allow you, when we uploaded it for you, it allows comments, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's what I would do. It's always better to protect yourself. It's a great idea. So when you virtually stage a property, the furniture, you can choose anything you want. Now, it also can go backwards, like I was mentioning to Karen. You can actually remove all the furniture out of it also. Or is there something you don't like? Cluttered. You guys never run into cluttered houses, right? It never happens. So, you can do that. Now, you can go a step farther. This property does not exist at all in real life. Doesn't exist. It's an entirely 3D rendered space. It's using 3D technology to create a space, whatever you desire. Now, you could use this in real estate. How so? What happens if you want to try to get in with a developer? They want to know you have the resources to be able to render 3D properties for them. They want to know, let's say you have a buyer who wants to see their space, their home, they're getting super excited, right? And they want to see what their home or their space is going to look like after renovation. You could help them with that. 3D renderings are commonplace now. It's really cool. 3D floor plans. This is a floor plan of a property. How beneficial would this be if you had this on the MLS? You know, like you're able to see where everything is spatially associated. And you're able to put the furniture, the flooring, or all the details to match the home as best as possible. So 3D technology can go in an array of directions. You could also go a little more basic with a 3D floor plan. So, and once again, something you could upload to the MLS to help your buyers, to help you save time. How many times do you get a phone call, oh, I'd like to show 123 Johnson Street. Oh, that's awesome. Have you taken a look at the floor plan? Does it work for your client? Oh, no, I haven't even looked at the pictures. You know, like, oh, this is a 3-2. I didn't know that. You know, like, so to help you save time and effort. Another thing that you can do, and this is pretty different, is you can actually create 3D renderings. 3D renderings can be a little bit intimidating for some people, but what you're about to see, or what you're seeing right in front of you, is a property that doesn't exist in real life, that has been composed entirely of virtual reality, or virtual 3D staging. And the cool thing is, it actually interacts as if you're really there. So I'm just using my mouse, and I'm moving through the home as if I'm really there. Now, how powerful would this be if a potential client or a seller wanted to give the ability for people to put their own furniture into the home? Well, you can do that now. All you got to do is, let's say I don't like that couch. I'm going to click that couch. It's going to open up this process right here. It's going to tell me a little bit of detail. I'm going to get rid of it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my other couches, on my other chairs. Let's say I want to put a chair there. Let the menu load. Once the menu loads, let's say I want this chair, or the red chair. I just drag it into the space, drop it in there, and then I rotate. Oops. Sitting in the middle of nowhere. I rotate it where I want. I can rotate it in any direction I want. And now it's in that space forever. So think about the power of being able to do that. It's 3D renderings. Also, a very simple software to get used to using. The cool thing is that you have access to the floor plan, or the virtual floor plan. I mean, the 3D technology is just amazing in what you can use in real estate, or what you're able to do with real estate and real properties or businesses if you're going into commercial. And you're able to manipulate spaces. With this, you're also able to, we won't go into too depth, but you can actually click counter colors and you can begin to manipulate the textures, the colors, the granite color, the stripe pattern, everything you could possibly want. So 3D rendering virtual tours, you're able to manipulate. It's just really cool with where this technology and this world, where this world is going when it comes to 3D renderings and the power of 3D and 3D technology. Now, Jeremy had mentioned it before. We dabble a lot in 3D virtual tours by a company called Matterport. Has anybody heard of Matterport before? Okay, I'm sure John and Jeremy have. So Matterport is a company out of California. They produce 3D rendering cameras. Camera will hit you, the new one, at about $4,600. And they don't tell you this, which I'm kind of like peeved at them a little bit. They don't tell you that you have to pay a monthly hosting fee to keep it up, and you have to pay a monthly uploading fee every time you upload. And guess what? If you don't want to keep it there anymore, it disappears forever. Meaning you are up a creek without a paddle. So you don't want to, you definitely want to be a little bit, in tune to their technology. It's great. We use it all the time. I'm really impressed with it. Now I'm going to take you behind the curtain, and I don't normally do this, but because we're focusing on what 3D can actually do, I'm going to show you the full capability, what's at your disposal for your listings. I'm going to use Karen's property. That's cool with you? Yeah. All right. So first off, I'm going to show you what the rendering looks like once it's complete. Karen, was the process pretty painless?
Oh, it was great.
It was painless. We come in, we scan the property, bada bing, bada boom. Now the thing is very detailed. And our techs are usually pretty prepared. They'll walk through the property because we have had instances where people leave things behind and scan forever, underneath beds especially. So you gotta be careful with that. But the cool feature is, one of my coolest feature, or my favorite feature, is the dollhouse view. This is a dollhouse view, or a rendering of Karen's property. So when you click floor plan, when a potential buyer comes in, they can kind of get spatial association of where everything is. The bedroom's here, living room's here, I think the kitchen's right here. There's another, it looks like a room or an office right here. It's amazing, the technology. And if you want to step into space, just double click and drop yourself into it. Now I'm in that space.
And now I'm just using my mouse, but I can use my directional keys as well. Or on your phone, you can use your finger. Just swipe. All Matterport's technology and the 3D technology is all compatible across all platforms. So you could use a tablet, a PC, anything you want. I mean, how powerful is this? I mean, you're taking it to the next level. Yes, ma'am?
Does it measure width and?
I'm going to show you that on the back end.
Okay.
That's a great question because I was going to show that. One thing I wanted to show is because it is Hillsborough Mile, right? So imagine that the view is what's going to sell it. We've actually been able to break into their system to actually allow you to step outside the property.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, we were able to break that. Technically, it's not supposed to go outside. So, so it's just so cool how now your potential buyer can visit it anywhere in the world, 24/7, 365. So, Karen, do you think this could save you some time?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I do have to say I got this listing because of what you did for me. So
Thank you. I appreciate it. I only expected dinner, so I was like, no, I'm kidding. So, we can go there if you want. But, so it's really fully immersive. I mean, this is pretty cool. The guys usually don't go all the way out here, but that's awesome that they're able to do it on this day. I mean, the technology is amazing. Now, if for those who are a little lazy, you can just press play, and what it'll do is begin to loop you through a sequence. That play button on the bottom left, for those who are a little bit lazier, they can just press play, it'll loop them through that series. Now, I'm so sorry, what was your name?
Karen.
Karen. To answer, Karen also. To answer Karen's question about what it's capable of doing, measurements. Now, this is the back end of what we see. We're able to manipulate the address, all that kind of cool stuff. And I'm going to launch the workshop. This may take a minute or two to load because it is pretty labor intensive. In the workshop, we have access to do a lot of things to it. We had a developer ask us, hey, could you give us measurements of windows? We want to replace the windows. We said, yes, we can. We can make you collaborate on the model. Are you familiar with Matterport? Yes, he is. And so we gave him access to the back end. We don't typically give access, but I wanted to show you what's at your disposal just in case a situation arises. The reason we don't give access too much is because you could actually delete your scan forever. And that's probably not good. So we restrict access a bit. While it's loading, though, some of the features that you're going to see is Matterport has rolled out recently the ability. Have you guys ever seen those 360 photos on Facebook where you can like use your phone and you like move up and down and stuff like that?
That's pretty cool.
Matterport allows you to pull images. So Karen, we can pull images from your 3D virtual tour, send you that image, and then you can pop it onto Facebook and it'll be a 360 image like that. It's so cool what Matterport's starting to do with giving you access to it. Also, just so that you know, we keep up with Matterport. I mean, we talk to these guys quite a bit. Matterport just went through all their tours and retyped definition, so it's super crystal clear. I mean, that's also a really cool feature as well. Now, with measurements, it's a little trickier. Remember, this isn't exact, so you gotta be like, it's about an inch or two off. So you gotta kind of, like, if you're gonna use this as a tool to get a listing, just be honest with them. Say, listen, it could be off a little bit, but you could use it as a tool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna show you first a couple of features that I really like. So let's say, Karen, let's test your knowledge of this property. So Karen, is there a feature in this property that is really over the top in terms of like, this is what's gonna sell it? Anything, a feature, anything at all?
The view.
Okay, the view? Okay, the view's gonna sell property. Okay, so let's go outside. Now watch this. There's a button right here called Matter Tags. I can take a tag and I can drop it into a space. See that little cute tag right there? I can drop it into the space. I can raise up the height of that tag. And now I can tell people amazing view of the water, or you can get more specific. You can say this is the ocean, you know, or let's say it was a deeded slip. This is a deeded slip. Or if you want to take it even farther, you see this media link right here? This is what I really would love to see realtors do, but no one's taken me up on it yet. I would love to see agents utilize a video of themselves introducing the property to the viewer. Like just a video, just like a 1-minute video. Hey, this is Karen, welcome to my listing at 123, whatever, you know, whatever the address is. I just want to tell you about it. It's a 3-2 on the water. The reason why I suggest that is because Matterport just rolled this out. You see the media link right here? You can paste a video into this tab. So imagine when a person starts the tour and they see this little button, they're like, what the heck is that? They tap it, a video is there. Press play, introduces them to that property.
I do not like being on video.
It could be a vocal.
Maybe you could offer that service as part of your services to do narration of that.
I've been thinking about it. There's a lot of back and forth with like critique. Oh, I don't like that word, but yeah, I agree. You know, if you have the script, maybe we could do it. But the coolest thing is like the features that you can tag. Imagine if you have a home that has like a Viking refrigerator, right? Or a Sub-Zero stove. People of that caliber, they want to know what's in that house. Tag it.
You take the video too when the agent speaks, right?
Yeah. I would say the video, the agent would
Would you
definitely
record the video?
Would I record the video?
That's the key thing.
We have the ability to record. It's an idea I'm toying around with. The thing is, I don't like to execute anything half-hearted. I need to make sure that we can go all the way with it. We already have the equipment. We do interviews all the
I
time.
think it's a great idea.
But people pay for it. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
How much it will cost.
You know, that comes into a lot of it. But I think it's a great idea. That's why I brought it up. But also, guys, the technology it's at your hand, your fingertips. I'm saying that you could do this stuff too. It's not super hard. I mean, we all have cell phones. But that's a great idea. I mean, we're going to talk about it in the
You can do
meeting.
it from your phone and paste the video.
Of course! Yeah, you can do anything you want.
Selfie stick.
Exactly, you know.
Okay.
Remember what Zuckerberg said? The risk is not taking risks. You gotta just try. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard. You know? So anyways, you can put the tags, Viking stove, Sub-Zero, Grand, all that cool stuff. Now, to answer measurements. Let's go to let's turn around. I'm gonna delete that one. Let's go and turn around and let's go to a door and see if I can get a measure. When I'm in the workshop, it moves a little slower, as you see, because it's taking time to render the space. So let's say that window. The measurement tool right here, this little I'm assuming that's a measurement tool. You see how it creates this little dot right there? I can click here and drag it up. Now, John, you can probably see it better than I can on your screen. What's it say right here?
4 feet 9 inches.
4 feet 9 inches. So that tool allows me to measure the distance, and I can add another one if I want. I want to go the width of the window. How much does that say?
8 foot 8 inch.
See? Measurements. So now they're able to measure the entire home from afar. Have you guys ever had nobody from outside the country ever buys anything in Florida, right? They're always here. Of course not. We're Florida. So it's like they're from abroad. What if you have an investor who bought a property that you're going to resell for them and they want to do construction on it? Let us come in, scan it, use the 3D and Matterport technology, and give them access to the measurements so that they'll save them. Do you think that buyer is going to do business with you again because of this asset? You better believe it, they're going to do this because nobody's doing this.
But you said it's estimated.
It's estimated, but the thing is a contractor can at least use it to give them a general
You
idea.
have an idea.
And also, to go on that just for a minute, what we've been doing a lot of also is the ability for, like, we'll open up the electrical panel, we'll open up the cabinets on the bottom, we'll open up the refrigerator so that the end user can view it in its entirety. So measurements, another cool feature, but I'm going to remove those also.
Is that a secondary view or something? I mean, like, do you have like an initial overview and then you get more detail oriented?
Yeah, you can. Because there's a thing, it's called labels. You can hide or show labels.
Okay.
So the typical window is 60 inches, that's saying 57. It's pretty dark.
What about ceiling height? So it'll do ceiling.
Of course, yeah. So let's see how the ceiling is. So,
Can it do an overlay, Eddie?
no, could you explain that? It just
Yeah, like so if you've got the measurements and it just like
overlays it on the tour.
Right.
Yes,
okay.
you can.
Pretty accurate.
You know, you can overlay it. The one thing that I see your hand. 2 seconds. The one thing I don't recommend about doing is it gets cluttered real quickly. You know, you got to kind of pick and choose what you want to have. Yes, sir.
You mentioned, let's say, a contractor is coming in, they're adding an extra bedroom, an extra bathroom. What are the rules with Zillow and Trulia and the MLS now showing it as a 3-bedroom, yet it's still a 2-bedroom?
I mean, Mr. Brokers, what is the
What was
restriction?
the question?
What are the rules if, let's say, an investor is buying a property, it's a 2-bedroom, they're going to add an extra bedroom, an extra bathroom, and get 3-2-1, but they want to start
3D render the 3rd bedroom. You can put it up there in your marketing and just put a comment or a disclosure
You gonna put it in
stating
the public
3rd
comments?
bedroom under construction.
I probably would put it in the public
And
comments.
are there any rules with Zillow, Trulia, or the MLS that we need to be aware of?
You need to disclose, that's it.
Yeah, and I'm going to get your name, sir? Joseph. I'm going to get to that point. Is that With what we did for Karen, it actually, you guys know List Hub, right? List Hub is a syndication service that's through the MLS. I know there's some issues with Zillow right now because they're selling leads and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, when you not through List Hub, okay, cool. So when you add the 3D virtual tour link to the MLS, it will syndicate to those other sites. So I recommend, and Karen, you may want to change this in the description, be sure to view the virtual tour, view the 3D virtual tour. Tell people what to do. Why? Because people are so jaded by the word virtual tour, right? They're so, it's just photos like, you know, whatever. That's not a virtual tour. That's just photos stitched together. You got to tell people that. But yeah, dude, that's a great idea, Joseph. I mean, now you're thinking outside the box. That's what we want. It's like, just take you to that next level. So the measurements, definitely something you can do. The 360 images, really simple to do as well. Labels, all that cool stuff. So this is the back end. Once again, we don't give access too much, but we can always help you through it. And let me get out of this real quick. Close this out. I think I'm actually, oh, that's why I'm like clicking this box. All right, so, back to where we were. So 3D virtual tours through Matterport. Technology is fairly simple to use. We are pros at it. We've mastered it. And the rendering and turnaround time, just so that you know, for us is 2 business days. We'll get you everything back in 2 business days. And we can also put on the MLS for you, which we did for Karen, if you choose that service. So 3D virtual tours. Any questions about Matterport stuff? I know it can be a little bit overwhelming. So if you think of any questions, you can call me or ask me later. Now, some benefits of 3D virtual tours. Have you ever had a tenant-occupied property?
Yes.
Tenant-occupied property.
Yes.
Are those nightmares to show?
Yes.
Right? What if you said, Mr. or Mrs. Tenant, would you let me come in there for 2 hours to scan the property, and I'll try not to bother you a lot? Do you think they'd be willing to let you do that? Now you have the ability to show tenant-occupied properties anywhere in the world 24/7, and then maybe schedule bulk showings, right? To like make it a little less chaotic on them. So tenant-occupied properties. It's a 24/7 open house worldwide. It's amazing what this is capable of doing. It gives you the spatial associations, interactive, self-guided, longer viewing times on websites. I was going to pull up our Google Analytics, but I didn't have time to. We are averaging between 1 minute and 59 seconds and 2 minutes and 6 seconds per user on our site. If you know anything about website traffic, that is a long time the person is there. Why? Why are they staying so long on my website? Because they're exploring, right? Thing is, you want to do the same exact thing. We give you the embed code, or you have access to the embed code. You can embed it directly onto your realtor site. You know, slow down the traffic. I spoke to John and Jeremy, I believe, about it too. You know, including it on K Company as well. Use it on your Facebook page. Slow down your user. How cool would this be? Do you guys ever do any events that you're trying to get buyers or sellers at? Maybe like, I don't know, like a flea market or like a nonprofit thing. Have the 3D virtual tour pulled up on your iPad or on your phone. Hey, take a look at this. Slow them down. Get them to interact with you. Get them to know about you. The thing that you're also able to do is obviously it can be branded, unbranded for the MLS member. On the MLS, which we did for Karen, you're not allowed to put the branded one on there, on the virtual tour button. You have to put the unbranded. I mean, you know, buyer beware. You know, if you do it, you know, the MLS is probably going to give you a fine or something like that on it. But we give you both access to it, branded and unbranded. Now moving on, the latest and greatest in 3D viewers and 360 viewers. So 3D and virtual reality viewers are something that's been around for a while. It's actually a television, and it can be a bit overwhelming. 3D goggles are right here, and by all means at the end, I'd be more than happy to show you it, and you can interact with it. I use my cell phone, which is recording right now, and I pop it in here, and now it's a 360 viewer. It's like you're really there. So I recommend at the end, come and try it out just for a minute so you can explore it and understand what it's like. It actually puts you into the space. So I started thinking to myself, which ones would I use? I know the vice president, or I communicate with the vice president of Merge. I like Merge because it's professional looking, it's pretty safe. I mean, it's comfortable to wear, it's no big deal. And then also, it's fairly cheap. $60 on Amazon. So I think you can definitely afford to have this in your repertoire.
For open houses.
The reason why I recommend the Merge, you can of course use Google Cardboard. Google Cardboard, anybody know how much these cost? $5. Yeah. Or you can go Samsung Gear. It's a little more expensive, about $49. But remember, Samsung Gear only works with Android and Samsung phones. It doesn't work with iPhones. These work with iPhones. And also Google Cardboard. Now, how cool would this be? If you had a buyer from another country, let's push it to the max. You had a house that you knew was going to sell to a Chinese investor, and you took a Google Cardboard, you spent $5 of your money, put it in the mail, and sent it to that buyer, and you gave them brief instructions on how to view your 3D scanned property with the viewer. Do you think that might encourage them to take a further look into that property from abroad? I know it's like kind of pushing the envelope, but you got to think that far out. Let's take it something a little closer. Open houses. At an open house, how many houses are you at? One. Now with 3D viewers, you could be at your entire inventory, anywhere you want.
How could you watch the other listings picture?
Because the 3D virtual tours,
The landsy picture is the road.
the 3D virtual tours right here, sir. And I'm so sorry, your name?
Attila.
Attila?
Yes.
Okay. Attila, on here, I was just thinking Attila the Hun, but right here, you see this Attila right here? View in VR, this little goggle icon. All you do is you click that, and now you can view it on the viewer.
No matter how bad picture is on the MLS.
No. It needs to be scanned. That's a great question. It needs to be scanned in 3D in order to be viewed on this viewer. So if Karen has all her listings in 3D, now all her properties are accessible in the viewer. So if Karen has an open house, and let's say that house doesn't work for them, you could say to them, well, this home may not work for you, but why don't you take a second and virtually visit all my other listings? Right there. Saving you time and effort. Now, my vision eventually, no brokerage has ever taken me up on it, my vision eventually is to have an entire brokerage inventory scanned and have a virtual viewing room.
If you would like to do it, you're welcome to.
Yeah, I know I'm welcome to, but I'm just saying it would cost quite a bit of money to do, but I think it would be so powerful and so cool that if a buyer could come into a room and you could virtually visit every single property.
How much is that?
$60 on Amazon. I don't sell them, but I really like this one. So I think that's the future. I really am excited about it. And the 3D viewers also allow you the ability to, take you up to that next level. Also, what I've seen is, just got to move it out of the way for a second. What I've seen also is if you go to a listing presentation, I don't know how many people are actually doing this, but what I suggest to them is, if you go to a listing presentation, take this viewer out and just put it on the table. Don't talk about it. Don't mention it until they break. What is that? Oh, let me show you what I have access to. And then let them see it. They'll blow their minds. They'll be like, you just see sign here. Whatever. It's amazing technology. 3D virtual reality goggles. Selling properties unseen using 3D goggles and virtual reality. Are you starting to see the possibility of selling properties sight unseen?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the mere fact, I started thinking about ideas of how you could help yourself. If you have the property scanned in 3D, why not use a sign writer on the bottom? View in 3D now. We had a client of ours who sold a property. He put 2 signs on the yard, had a sign writer on the bottom, sold the property sight unseen because people drove by the property, visited in 3D, wrote a contract, knew they had the inspection period, closed on the property. We had another agent whose people shared it on Facebook, shared it on social media. This person from another brokerage shared it with the owner of the property. The owner shared it. Their cousin saw it from another state and bought the property from another state. Because we want things now. We don't want to wait. Instant gratification. It's bad, but we need to embrace it. So why not give them access to visit the properties anywhere in the world? Also, the virtual tour button on the MLS, like I was telling Joseph, put it on there. Tell people, check out the 3D virtual tour. Next thing, sharing social media, we did that. Sending the 3D VR goggles to other people, to potential buyers. I know that's a bit of a stretch, but it's possible. Yacht brokers do it. Bring the VR goggles to open houses with you. Or what Scott and I like to do, we just bring them wherever we go. If I go to networking events, I'll wear them. And people are like, what are those? They'll just start asking about it. So it's pretty cool what you're able to be able to do. Also, you're able to add a link, or I would add a link to all your marketing. I'm sure the K Company has amazing marketing assets. Add it to your marketing, add it to your EDMs, all that kind of stuff. Now, I mentioned to you before that the 360 images that we can pull from a 3D virtual tour can go directly on Facebook. So, you're able to use this to manipulate the space as you see fit. Now, switching from 3D to drones. Drones are, this is a drone. If you haven't seen one in real life, this is how small they are. But these are extremely dangerous. Because of the mere fact this thing drops out of the sky, pops into a power grid, hits a Maserati, kills you, whatever, hits a plane, whatever. There's a lot of things that people don't know about this little toy right here. I could go to Best Buy right now, buy this for $7.99 brand new, pop it in the sky, and then do whatever I want with it. You need to be educated on how to use it. A lot of times what I hear is, well, I have somebody who does drones for me. Okay, well, let's look at requirements. Is that drone pilot, do they hold a Part 107? Are they vetted by the Transport Security Administration? Are they obtain a remote pilot certificate with a small UAS rating? Do they have all these requirements for the people that you're using? You need to ask these questions. Because the mere fact that if a Maserati falls out of the sky, hits a Maserati, and you didn't know this, who do you think that Maserati owner may go after? They go after the person with the money, the person driving that Lexus, the Mercedes, not the drone pilot. So, also things, know before you fly. These are a lot of safety tips. Now, we abide at AccuTour by all these rules and regulations. All my pilots hold a Part 107. We all hold liability insurance. We all are trained in how to use this properly. These are things that you can and cannot do. Fly your unmanned aircraft below 400 feet. Now, this stuff is designed for a hobbyist and for commercial use, okay? You really want to fly with local clubs, you're familiar with that, you want to inspect your aircraft, you want to take some flying lessons because it is a little different, it does take a little, finesse. You're not allowed to fly your unmanned aircraft beyond line of sight. Oh, that never happens. You got to be careful with that. You see that drone flying around the corner, you should ask that drone pilot, hey, can you still see this? Oh no, I can't see it, but I'm okay. Okay, well, maybe they can't see where they're going. You're not supposed to fly actually 5 miles within an airport. You can't do that. You're not supposed to fly near people or over people or near stadiums. You got to obviously not be reckless. You really shouldn't be flying anything more over 55 pounds. Also, fly for payment or commercial purposes unless specifically authorized by the FAA. So a person who has a drone, I have a drone, and I'm going to fly to take photographs of the property I listed. Can I legally do this? Can you legally do that? No, you can't. Because why? Why can't you?
You need to be a pilot.
You don't have the license, and remember, you are making money off of the sale of the property. So you are getting paid. So if you get caught doing this, they could come down on your heart. Now, has this happened a lot? I'm not really aware of it, but I want to protect you guys. I'm part of the family now. I want you to be, on point with this. If you have any questions, call about it. Ask me. I'll be more than happy to help you. Things to watch out for. Make sure that they have liability insurance policies. We carry liability insurance policy about $1 million to $2 million because of the mere fact we do some pretty high-end stuff, and we want to make sure that we're properly insured. Ask to see it. The next thing I started thinking about, make sure that when they create your videos or they create your stuff for you, they're using licensed music. People don't get sued over that, right? Also, make sure that they have proper consent. We do a lot of community shoots. I always ask, hey, is the HOA going to be cool with this? Is the condominium association going to be cool with this? Are the people going to be cool with this? We're not overbearing, but I just want to protect all of us, Some people don't want to be recorded. Trust me, we've run into it. So, once again, with everything that we mentioned, try to begin to start thinking about the goals that you're able to set for yourself using this technology. Do you think by embracing this technology it could help you get more listings? Yeah, if you want more listings, help you make more money, make more time. Maybe money really doesn't do it for you. Maybe you want to spend time with your kids. Help you save this time. Now, I said in the closing, I wanted to give some out of the box ideas with marketing, because I'm pretty out there with some of this stuff. With marketing, my key with marketing is always be consistent. Consistency is something that is plagued by some people. A lot of times also when consistency doesn't take place, a lot of people begin to think about different types of approaches when it comes to marketing. This approach, the shotgun approach. Shotgun approach, in my opinion, is just like throw money at it and see what happens. God bless you if you have that much money just to play around with. Like Walmart's, Pepsi's, things of that nature, that mass marketing, right? Shotgun type marketing. To me, I make every single dollar count, so I go more the opposite direction. I go more sniper rifle mentality. I'm very specific on every single dollar I spend and how I market to people because I need to hold it accountable even more than the other people, or at least me personally. So when we begin to talk about marketing ideas, think about being super specific if that's what you'd like to do, as opposed to having a shotgun mentality of just, praying to God to throw money out there, to throw an EDDM out there and just hoping something sticks. Making sure that you're more specific. Now, also, and I'm sure you guys already know this, but when you create your marketing pieces, and the K company is on point with it already, I see this a lot, is you have to be careful with the color
that you use when you market? Because colors express emotion, right? Does anybody know why McDonald's is yellow and red? Anybody?
Optimism.
Optimism, maybe. Maybe optimism. It's designed to make you panic. Make you like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Why? Do they want you chilling there forever? No, it's a fast food joint. They want you in and out. Color psychology. They want you in and out. You know, but you start looking at some of the other brands. I want you to chill forever and a day. Let's see. Who's blue? Facebook, right? They want you to make you feel trusted, dependable, strength. That's why this color, blue. Dependable. So make sure that when you begin to plan your marketing, you take this into account. You know, you take the color scheme into account. Also, you take the color scheme, and this is going a bit far, but take the color scheme into account when you actually decide what to wear to a listing presentation. Because a lot of times what I recommend is like a robin egg blue is probably the most attractive color to the eye. So maybe that. It's more trusting, playing into people's psyche a little bit. It's kind of weird, but it does work. So be conscious of the colors that you use when you're marketing. Also, please have a call to action, something. My wife and I bought a house in Margate, and I have this one realtor in my area who sends me marketing almost every single month, which is awesome. Consistency is the key. But she has no call to action. She's just like, here are the properties in the area. Okay. Why not call me, text me, email, something? I almost called her up and say, listen, Ann, you need to work on this property. Come to my house. I'm going to help you do this because this is garbage. You know, like you need to fix it. Because I'm doing it lovingly. Because you got to have a call to action, guys. These are call to actions. Join now, download now, see action, buy now, call, text, email, whatever you guys want to have. Call to action, please. The other thing is also a lot of times in marketing, do you feel that marketing and advertising can get a bit overwhelming, right? It can get a bit overwhelming. There's a lot of things you can advertise and market. When I was a Boy Scout, they gave us a bar of soap, and we had to carve the bar of soap into something to get this, right? My Swiss Army knife. It has a couple basic tools, but I can get by with it. I can survive with it. Now, this is what happens with the marketing nowadays. Like, well, I got to do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. So in the next couple slides, you're going to see what I chose as my forerunners and what I use and what I eat, sleep, and drink with every single day to run AccuTour. The first thing that I use is if this, then that. Does anybody know what this is? Has anyone ever used this program? It's the most dopest program you'll ever find. It'll blow your minds. So if this, then that's a free program. What it does is it creates recipes like this. If I go to Instagram, then drop it to Dropbox. So save my Instagram photos to Dropbox instantly. It's a program that you build recipes in to help you do things. So if I'm nearby a location, then post to Twitter. Nearly home, direct message the person who should know. If, email your new iPhone photos to yourself. If, back up your contacts to Google spreadsheets. You can build these recipes. What I build recipes for is, let's say you want to track things on Craigslist, right? You want to be sent to your email. You can actually create a recipe. If I find this on Craigslist, then I want you to email me. If this word is brought up in Facebook, I want you to text message me. These build programs, and I know I'm getting some confused looks because this can get a little bit overwhelming, but there's so many videos out here. If this, then that. It's free. It's such a good resource for you to use. It'll save you so much time and effort. The next one that I use is Craigslist a lot. Now, I don't know K Company's policy on using Craigslist, but I'm assuming if you advertise and market correctly and legally, you could do it. But the reason why I like using Craigslist is because Craigslist is a program that has some algorithms built into it that you can kind of like bend to your will. Like for instance, did you know on Craigslist you can renew your ad every 48 hours? Did you know there's an auto program that can do that for you?
We need to talk.
Remember, there's always these programs out there. One thing with Craigslist that I have to mention before we leave this slide is that Craigslist now works like Zillow. It's search specific. So when you put a property on Craigslist or you're advertising a property, make sure to include the square footage, the room count, the zip code, all the details, because that's the way they're indexing these things now. My tip to you. The next thing is yet another mail merge. Has anybody ever used this? Yet another mail merge? This is a Google Chrome extension, actually a Gmail extension. The cool thing with this program is
that yet another mail merge allows you to send mass personalized emails from your own email for free. So, let's say you're having an open house, right? And you want, has anybody ever used MailChimp?
Yes.
Where does MailChimp end up in the email boxes?
A lot of junk.
A lot of junk, a lot of promotional folders, right? Yet another mail merge will end up in their inbox. It won't end up in their promotional folder because it's directly to them. So yet another mail merge is an emailing platform. It's you get 50 emails a day for free, or if you pay the whopping $24 a year, you get 400 a day. But I don't recommend pushing that threshold because it could get a little crazy, and they'll also block you. So, I've done it. I pushed that threshold. The other thing I call Facebook dark posts, Facebook advertising. We won't spend too much time on it, but I'm sure you guys already do it. Facebook advertising, running ads, geospecific. Doing all that kind of stuff. We use a lot of it in our own marketing. You guys probably haven't even seen my ad on Facebook about stock photography because I'm targeting you. But anyways, so the birth of free market economies. I wish I had a rock. I wish I had a stick. We embrace this idea a lot in AccuTour. We have the photography, so we give the stock photography away. Why? What do I want in the end? I want you as a client, right? So when you see the awesome work we do, God willing, you'll come to us, right? So I'm giving you something free in order to get something. So think about how you could do it in your world, in your real estate world. What can you give away that you have access to? Maybe.
Houses.
What was that?
Houses and condos.
Houses, you can give them away.
I want to be friends with Karen Knox.
Yeah, me too. Your time, sweat equity. Begin to embrace this. The other thing is, and I know I'm throwing a lot at you in the last couple minutes of closing, the thing is, please begin to embrace Facebook reviews, okay? Right now, this is our Facebook. We have 84 reviews, 5-star reviews, 84 of them. So, we're not a company to be reckoned with. And there's Sharon right there. So, that was so cool, Sharon. I was so happy to see that. But Facebook reviews are so important, guys. Get in the habit of asking for them. Why? Because Google's beginning to index those Facebook reviews. Yes, Joseph?
On the if this then that,
Yes.
is the name of the website?
Yes.
If this then that.com?
Yeah, I think it's iftt.com.
Okay,
Yes.
and then the Craigslist one where you can renew it automatically?
This Google search has been, I haven't looked into it last month, this Google search like auto ad renew Craigslist. That's what I would search. Begin to put your reviews on Facebook, guys, because you see when I Googled last night AccuTour, look what comes up. 5 out of 5 Facebook, 83 votes. Because Google's now indexing these reviews. We don't have so many on Google, only 8, because we usually focus on the Facebook stuff, but you got to be sure to do this. The one other thing is, and I didn't have a moment to ask Jeremy or Jonathan about it, you can answer me now. I saw on Google that you guys have this location pinned as a K company. But let's say I'm an agent of yours, and I wanted to have a Google listing. I need to have a business address. Would you be opposed to me? So you need to do that, guys. If Jonathan will allow you to tag this location as your business location, you need to download Google My Business app. It's free. You need to pin yourself in Google here. Why? Because when you search stuff, people search for realtors in Pompano Beach, you will come up. Begin to utilize this free program. They'll send a postcard here in 2 to 3 weeks. Once you register, you verify the location, you're good to go. Download the app. It's free. Free stuff. Next thing, last things. Hootsuite. Does anybody use this?
Yeah.
Hootsuite. I love it. Sharon's good, right?
Yeah, I think Jonathan, did you tell? Yeah. Where it posted all the things.
Exactly. Syndicates all these little sites for you in one click. Saves you a lot of time. The only thing I don't like about Hootsuite is where it says posted by Hootsuite. You know that? I don't like that, but you could definitely use it. And then finally,
the paid version, you can take away the branding on it.
Really? How much do they want though?
It's not expensive.
It's not? Okay, it's minimal? Okay, cool. It's probably a junk fee. And then last but not least, guys, YouTube. Make use of YouTube. Attila was talking about videos, and I believe 100% in YouTube. YouTube is such a powerful tool. These stats are amazing. Over 4 billion videos are viewed every day. Your videos need to be there. Because did anybody know who YouTube was bought by? Google. Google owns YouTube now. So guess what happens if they search like your address? Guess what's going to come up first?
Your video.
The video, because Google wants to slow down their viewers. And how much does YouTube cost?
Free.
Free. Yeah.
The automated video walkthrough of the Matterport camera. Can you download that as a video to put on YouTube?
Matterport just released a beta on that, and I watched it. It's okay.
Because you had the auto play.
Yeah, it's okay. What I recommend though is take it to the next step. Just use a screen capture software, draw the box around the video, and press play. It's a lot better. And also, you could actually just manipulate with your arrows. That's
Show what you want to show.
Show what you want to show, exactly. And then also, just to let you guys know on YouTube, they actually have a photo slide show maker and a video editor built into the back end of YouTube. So that's free also. Great resource. Once again, if you guys want stock photography, by all means, your business card or your email address. And of course, our information, our contact stuff is there. Are there any questions? Yes, Attila.
How could you upload all this to the matrix? How could we start using this when we have a listing and we're gonna start with you?
Karen can probably just answer that. How do we add it to the MLS for you?
Well, you have two options. You can either, well, the first option, I really don't know how it would, they send you the pictures and I guess they upload yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can have them do it for you, which I did because I'm so busy. I don't have time to sit there and go through all these 100 pictures that they took and decide which of these 100
So
pictures to put up.
you could put it in the MLS.
Yes, sir. And then Attila, with the link, we actually, you know what, can we pull up your,
Yeah.
no, but I don't want to get onto the MLS right now. Is it already uploaded, you think?
Yeah, it is.
It probably is. We'll, in a minute, we'll upload it real
So
quick.
would it come up on Realtor.com?
Yes, it'll syndicate to it. The thing is, you know where on the, I think it's the 6th tab on the right-hand side when you're in the MLS on Matrix, on the bottom where it says virtual tour, there's a space there. That's where you put the virtual tour link. Then now it's clickable. Now the 3D virtual reality is clickable within that link, sir.
And the whole, and everybody, let's say buyers looking in Canada and want to look for something here, they could see the virtual tour. Right?
Yes, sir. It's accessible in any country, maybe not China, but yeah.
But when they have, let's say you also advertise other realtors listing, you have all the listings which are available in the area. They cannot see those in 3D because those pictures and they don't have the goggles.
Exactly.
So that's, we're not there yet.
Exactly. Because they don't have that technology embraced. Not yet, at least.
So only the virtual tour which we could do right now. Right away.
3D virtual tours, yes, sir.
And the drone picture.
Yes, and the drone, yeah, and drone video. But make sure, if you use anybody outside of us, by all means, proceed with caution. Ask the questions that we
You
talked
said
about.
a good point. Somebody offered the service, but I didn't even think of it. I said, the license. I said, this is a bit dangerous stuff in my head.
Yeah, it is definitely dangerous. Yes, Joseph.
One of the obvious questions, one of the costs, when you have like let's say you're doing a low rate house, you have like a starting package or a drop package. Try it with.
Our pricing is actually right here, all in the brochure. Our pricing for 3D is based on square footage, and it's 15 cents a square foot, roughly, living area. So all the stuff we scan on the outside on the patio, we didn't charge Karen for. We just did it. So 15 cents, 1,000 square foot condo is 150, 2,000 is 200 or 300. But the thing is, that also comes with photos. Photos as well. What was that?
That is it?
That's it. Mm-hmm.
What about a big backyard? You have a big backyard. You're going to charge for the square footage of a backyard? You're gonna
Living area, Attila.
When you take the view, no charge.
Attila, I'm not in the business of nickel and
No,
diamond.
I'm just asking because you said square footage.
No, it's living area square footage, not total or adjusted. Yeah, that's what we do. I mean, it can get up there when you start getting into 5,000 square feet, but it's worth it. 100% worth it, in my opinion.
Miss
Yes.
Impatient here, can you offer an expedited service?
We can offer an expedited service, and we're thinking it's going to be $50 to expedite it.
Expedited, because my clients, they want it up like now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we've thought about it. We're going to begin to implement it. It's going to be $50, probably $50 to rush it. There's just so much work to do so quickly,
You don't want
Is
to
it this
put-
afternoon?
Yeah, and then also, guys, in closing, real last thing is that we've created, and Karen used it, I think. We created our client portal. So now client.accutour.com is where Karen did. Was it easy? Fairly
Yeah.
simple. We created a client portal. We spent quite a bit of money on designing this and getting it set up because we want to give you access. You come in here, you create your profile, and then you can put projects through here also. Or you can call, text, or emails.
Is that what you did for Sharon and Karen?
Actually, for Sharon and Karen, what I did was I went above and beyond, and it's great that you brought that up. You'll have to forgive me.
He
I
did
can't
this
really
to me
see what I'm
10
typing
o'clock
in.
Saturday night.
But Sharon, what's your last name?
Dolinsky,
Okay,
Dolinsky.
What we did for Sharon and Karen was I'll do this pretty much for anybody who wants it. We'll do landing pages specifically for your listing presentations if you'd like it.
I don't know if I spelled that right, but
You're good.
I'm good. Sweet. What it is it's a landing page with Sharon's beautiful photo right here, K Company, big and center, Sharon's beautiful face and smile, her information, and then what it'll do is it'll walk your client through 3D virtual tour, through the drone, through the photography, through the virtual staging, through the floor plan, through tags, and then an explainer video, and then of course it all points back to Sharon because of the mere fact that I wanted to give you guys an asset to have. So if you want one, you can email me and say, hey Eddie, could you build one for me? All I need from you is your contact information, your headshot, and I already have the K Company logo. That's all I would need from you to do it. So
But I gotta say, this on a tablet, going to a presentation, it looks, I mean, the PC looks good, but on a tablet or even a phone.
It's even better.
Oh, it's great.
Because
Much
it's
better.
responsive.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
It looks better on a tablet.
Yeah, it looks better on a tablet. The reason I keep the image large is because I think your face is a really good selling tool. Then you identify you with what you do. But yeah, this is pretty cool, and this is unbranded, so don't worry about that. All our stuff is unbranded in our videos.
She looks like a superstar
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
Amy.
she is. Anyone else? Any questions, guys? I know I've taken enough of your time this morning. I could talk for another hour. I mean,
So, if I was to get the 3D
Viewer? Hmm?
how do I get my listings to work with the viewer to?
all you do, Karen, you see that little tab right here, the little goggle icon on the bottom? You just click that on your phone, and then download the Google Cardboard app.
If you click it on a computer, it'll look like two squares.
Yeah, and it'll keep telling me which one you want to use.
So download the app.
Google Cardboard.
Yeah, just go to Google Cardboard and order a couple of them at $5. I would order 5 just to have something to hand out, and like I said, take it to a presentation. Yeah, and all you have to do with YouTube is just click that. A lot of places now.
Well, YouTube does it, Google does it, the images do it, 360 does it. Virtual reality to me is really it's weird because it is disorienting. And you guys can try it out. Well, when we end, I'll hook my phone into it so you can try it.
It's a weird feeling.
It is a weird feeling.
Has anyone here done that? Done a headset tour?
Oh, not a complete tour,
But done the headset?
but yeah.
It's pretty immersive.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing like the PS box or that
The PS,
Yeah, they
the
do.
PlayStation?
They do those.
Yeah, when you put on the
Yeah.
okay.
With the joysticks that they have. Or Oculus Rift has it too in Hive. And also,
What's that called? I was just reading about that where you have a full awareness of your surroundings, even though you have the goggles on. Where you
I forget the term for it. I mean, I know Hive is pretty immersive. Have you guys ever been to the creation station in the library, Broward County Library? Bob's the guy who runs it. We scanned it. They have free 3D printers. They have free green screen stuff. They have Google Holo, which is amazing. They have free audio stuff. I mean, it's amazing the assets there. And they have the GoPros. They have like 12 GoPros for the GoPro 360. That's at the creation station in the Broward County Library. A guy by the name of Bob, he has like a beard like mine, but it's like speckled with gray. He's a really cool dude. And it's all free, open to the public. And 3D printing. Technically, I could take, if you look at this download link right here, it gives me the OBJ file. I could take Karen's tour, download the OBJ file, put it into a 3D printer, and create a 3D model of that, printed, of that property.
Oh, and so
You have a 3D printer?
You can do
Wow.
property flyers
Yeah, on our portal, you can do property flyers, correct.
that I can just print off and take to the
Yeah,
printer.
yeah. If you wanna, I mean, I don't want to take. Karen, do you want to log in real quick? Do you want to log into the portal? Do you remember it?
Yeah, it's my email.
Well, I don't want to do it. I'm just going to show you guys really quick what it was. If you guys want to know what it looks like. Any other questions? Anything else? Well, by all means, please come and check the viewer out. Our brochure is here, card is here. We're at your disposal. I thank you guys for your time and being here. Thanks, Eddie.
Thank
You're
you.
very welcome.